Good morning, everybody. It is time for the daily review. So let's go and see what there is today. So let's see, we're going to cash this in. Yeah, worked again. I think that's 2 days in a row. Okay, so we got Quick Draft Core Set 2021, which is actually still a good deal. Let's. This is actually, I think, new. So now you're bot drafting, which is good, and there's an unlimited pick time. But the thing about this one is that it's actually only half the cost. So there's only 5,000 gold to get into it. So and you're going to get at least 4 packs. So you get 4 packs. Unless you get 7 wins, then you get 5 packs. But okay, each pack's about 1,000 gold, so that's 4,000 gold right there. And then after that, you're exchanging your 1,000 gold for here 20 gems or 50 gems. 200 is the number that we're looking for break even. So at 2 wins, you've broken even, right? And then after 3, 4, 5, anything after that, that's pretty good. So I would actually say this is probably the one to play, especially if you've got the in-game gold. Alright, so then Premier Draft Core Set 2021 is still pretty good, and today is FNM Artisan. So, in case you don't know, Artisan is the, basically it's a format where in this case it's standard, but you can only have commons and uncommons. And I'm going to show you a few of the decks that I might have that I won with. So yesterday, or early this morning, I was able to play. I ended up getting like, I think 6 wins out of this. I went like 6-1, and I'll show you guys some, the 3 decks that I used. I tested all 3 decks and they're all still pretty good. Okay, let's go to the store. Alright, so Reign of Revelation. That's actually a really cool artwork, but I'm not going to buy a card style, so hell with that. Definitely no. Okay, so Reign of Revelation. I like the artwork actually, and instead, yeah, I actually like the rain effect of this one too. I have to say this is a really good looking one, but I'm still not going to buy it because I'm not wasting my in-game gold for that. Okay, so don't buy the daily deal today. Let's go to packs, and then I'll go to the deck. So I got 1 Ikoria pack. Let's check it out. Okay. Nothing really amazing. Mythos of Snapdax. Okay, sure. I don't think I've ever played that in any deck, but okay. Alright, the decks. Let's go to the decks and see what we got. Okay, so I've got a few here. I've got Artisan. Okay, so previously I had an Artisan deck, and these ones are up here because I had to modify them. Where is it here? It's going to be down in the list of many. Gruel Rush. Okay, so Gruel Rush is actually okay. It's super aggro, basically. But essentially what we do is we get some creatures down, like Ginger Brute, Sedge Scorpion, and stuff like that. Especially like Ginger Brute. We can use also Rimrock Knight as well. Zertog Goblin is one. And basically what we're trying to do is just rush our opponent and try and get him as hard as we can. Right? So ideally you can get down to Seasons of Growth and then just start pumping up our creatures with Samus Sprint, Giant Growth, and things like that. Basically just hardcore aggro our opponent out. This of the 3 decks I'm going to show you today, I feel like was probably the least effective, but overall it was still pretty good. I still won, I think, 1 or 2 matches with it. Okay, so you got Artisan Gruel Rush. The other one I had from previously, I had to modify this because one of the cards is whatever that. It's that stupid one that I forget the name. It does damage equal to the number of cards with cycling in your deck. Instead, what I did is I put in Improbable Alliance. Well, that was actually in there before. What did I put in? I put in Ominous Seas instead. Alright, so we got Flourishing Fox. Basically, this is the cycling deck. So we've got Flourishing Fox, Giant Healer, Valiant Rescuer, Ominous Seas, and it actually counts as you drawing a card every time you cycle. Right, so the cycle ability, as you see, you may play the cycling cost to discard this card and draw a card. So if you use that along with Improbable Alliance, you can create a whole crap ton of 1/1 blue fairy creature tokens. Right, and then the rest of this is all just, you know, land or whatever, and just a whole bunch of easy, cheap cycling cards. So anyways, this one I found was actually probably the most resilient of the decks. Yeah, but it's still pretty fun to play. It can be kind of bad sometimes if your opponent has ways to just blow up your creatures, but there's a lot of things this is my complaint with cycling, is that with cycling, like, your opponent can't counter it. So once you have something down, your opponent has a real hard time dealing with it, right? And I really don't like that, because I think that things should be like, you should have ways of interacting with your opponent. Okay, the one I like the most is probably this blue-white auras deck. And so basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to create like blue-white auras with some Voltron type build, and it's kind of like Voltron. Voltron's usually with equipment, but we're just basically trying to stack auras onto things. So what we've got is Alseid of Life's Bounty, which is an enchantment, and that's important, but it also is there mainly to provide protection for your creatures. Our creature basically is going to be Fairy Guide Mother or Spectral Sailor. Right, and before I actually had things like Ginger Brute and stuff like that when I was testing it out, overall I found that those were not good includes. I just found like the flying was just easier to deal with, right? So we got Karametra's Blessing, gives us Hexproof Indestructible, 4 of All That Glitters. This is super important. This is probably the best aura card in Standard, and actually might even be one of the best for this sort of thing. Definitely would go into like a Bogles build or whatever as well, right? Okay, then we got Glass Casket and Pacifism. That is our control package, so we can exile creatures or make them so they can't attack or block. We have Starlit Mantle, which you can flash in, and this is actually pretty nice because sometimes, like, you might want to hold open your mana for Alseid of Life's Bounty, but if your opponent doesn't do anything on their end step, then you can flash in Starlit Mantle. Or alternately, you can also leave this open and give your creature hexproof, which also can make it so that your opponent has a real hard time with dealing with your creature. So this also goes along with Alseid of Life's Bounty and Karametra's Blessing. Okay. After that, we got Staggering Insight. This one is such a killer, right? That basically every time your creature does combat damage to a player, you draw a card, keeps your hand full all the time. Helios Pilgrim lets you search for the auras that you need, probably going to search for either one of the removals, so Glass Casket or Pacifism, or if you're not looking for that, you're probably looking for All That Glitters. All right, and then after that, we got Arcanist Owl, and basically the same thing as Helios Pilgrim. I think I only cast this once, but it is a creature artifact, and so it does count towards All That Glitters as well. The important thing actually about Staggering Insight is it gives your creature lifelink. So what happens is when you get this on, like, it's so good for 2 mana. Like, you get +1/+1, which is good. Then you also get lifelink, which is ridiculous because this creature is going to end up being like a 10/10. There was one match when I was just like playing, I think, a mono green, and they didn't have any way of dealing with my creatures, and they were just like swinging in, and I was like, okay, I'll just like lifelink my way back, right? Like, I didn't even have to hold up blockers or anything. So getting the lifelink and then being able to keep drawing cards off of it is just amazing, right? So anyways, but that's the deck, and I'll put the deck list for all 3 of these decks into the description of this video. So anyways, that is it for today. I wish you guys luck at FNM. Don't forget, I believe that if you do take a screenshot of this screen, and then you send it to your LGS, then they will send you back a code. I believe that this will, you can receive a code for an Arena FNM promo pack containing 2 cosmetic items when you share your results with your local game store. So even if you want, like, I guess how would they know? You could take a picture of this screen, even if you don't want to play, and then just send it to your LGS, and they'll send you back a promo pack, right, with 2 cosmetic items. Probably going to be just card styles, but hey, or it could be sleeves, it could be, an avatar, it could be anything. Oh, the other thing I wanted to just mention quickly, and if you guys care, is that my rewards for winning, even though I played like a whole bunch of matches, you can only win these 2 rewards, but I actually got gems both times. And what that means is that the rare that I was going to get was actually just like, I already had a 4 of those rares, right? So I actually ended up getting, I think, 20 and 20 or 40 and 40, so I forget how many, but I just got gems off of it, which is really sweet. So anyways, that is it for today. Thanks for watching, and good luck at FNM.